Okay, we've started the recording. Welcome to session number 4. We have a smaller group today, so that won't stop us. It just means there'll be a smaller party of adventurers. Did everyone remember to remove tax from resting the previous evening? I had mentioned it at the end of last session, but I just want to make sure, because some of your characters have gotten pretty beat up.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Remember that if you do need to get extra rest done, instead of doing chores, you can send your characters to just play in the yard, and that will gain them an extra 2 tax removed, in addition to the nightly rest. And so let's first give a little warm-up as to what the adventure might be for today, although there are plenty of extra things you can do. The previous night, the 3 Knoll children, who are much younger than most of you, they were trying to learn how to sing at night. They eventually went to sleep, but waking up in the morning, let's see, she has a name. Where's her name? There it is. Mangra Burtail. All of them are of the Burtail clan. But Mangra really wants to start a singing career. She wants to learn how to sing. But Miss Maybell won't let her go into town on her own to try and learn from anybody who might know how to sing in town. She's far too small to be wandering off on her own. So Mangra is running around asking the older children if some of them will take her into town so she can find a bard to teach her how to sing. So that is one of the available adventure options that you guys have. Alrighty, let's open up the activity log here. Oh wow, the 3 people who are out today are the first 3 in the list, so I can skip all the way down to Tice. Do you know which character you would like to bring out today?
Sorry, if that question was for me, I only heard the second half.
It was not, it was for Tice.
Yeah, just taking a second, I think. Let's see here.
Although technically, I guess the question was for everybody. Do you all know who you would like to bring out for the adventure today? If it matters what adventure you're going on, you could discuss that.
There's still a list of possible adventures, right?
There is, yes. And we have a new one that I haven't added to the list yet, so I'll do that right now.
It's a real tug on your heartstrings option.
Because if she can learn to sing the song, then the owl spirit will take the song up in the sky to be with her mother's song. So their songs will be together even when they're apart. So she has a strong motivation to become a good singer.
I totally forgot that there was that list.
Can't you add, like, checkboxes? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. How'd you do that? Is that a formatting thing?
Yeah, it's one of the format options was checklist. Oh, of course, spacing counts. That's it. It can't be perfect. But it is nice. I love we did this and it was a thing and not losing it.
Okay, good.
I kind of want to investigate the extra witchy witch mother and the town witch.
What was the town witch in this context? It was one of the people, one of the owner or
The herbalist. She is not actually a magic user, but she is referred to quite frequently as the Witch of Oakrine. She does brew potions. She knows a lot about magic, she just can't wield it herself. But she is able to use her magical knowledge to brew actual magical potions, primarily healing potions, and antitoxins for various people that run into trouble at the inn across the street.
Well, as I said, as much as I want the first session to be all three triplets, I do want to start getting Whompi some experience. So I'm probably going to take Whompi out, and Whompi would be interested in the extra witchy witch mother or the other kids here, primarily as bullying targets.
Right.
I'm curious exactly what we would do if we actually fixed the salt machine.
That was the
Well-
one of the first opportunities you ever encountered.
Presumably, it would involve having access to a lot of salt.
No, the machine itself makes salt. So.
Well, yeah, but
Oh
if
yeah,
we
yeah,
fixed it,
yeah.
we would have access to a lot of salt.
Yes, the whole town would. If that's something you're interested in, you could do some investigation about that in town.
I mean, Whompi doesn't give a shit, but Nest would be interested. Nest is also exhausted. Is going. But yeah, other kids or witch mother's good for me. If we all have characters that would fit, it would be kind of cool to just run around bullying kids.
The definition of mischief, after all.
I don't think I really made any bullies. I think one could be condescending, but is that bullying? Yes. Yes, it is.
Tice, you're bringing Elros out again?
Yeah, I want to get to that sweet 10 experience marker.
Oh, for getting a talent?
Yeah.
It's actually 9, but yes.
9, but
Yeah, we lowered the prices for talents a while ago for some mathematical reason that I forget, but I agreed with the change at the time. So
is it because the thing where you can like spend 3 experience points to make up a talent, and once you spend your third expenditure, it like you can make a talent?
yeah, I think we wanted to remove that final expenditure where it's just if you spend the 3 times, and then Ed actually tried playing a game instead of GMing and realized that he really, really wanted lots of talents and they were priced a little too high, but yeah. But we didn't want to bring them like down to be like super easy to get either. They needed to be balanced. So There was a discussion at some point about splitting experience points and character points back up again, and you can only buy talents with character points, and you can only buy other stuff with experience points, but then distributing those points in a way that balanced the game became incredibly complicated, and we settled on this. And I haven't found a reason to want to change it yet.
There's always that point where we feel like I guess it's very character dependent too, but it's like we feel like these things are too expensive. I want to make the character, I can't do it, and then I've gone back and looked at character sheets, and it's like Reina had 50 unspent experience points because there was nothing to spend because she was fine. There was no reason to give her anything because she could do everything she needed to do, and I was like, should I go into something else?
Well, and we put in this valve where you can use experience points to get extra dice, so that there is something to use them on if you don't want to use them for leveling up. Now, of course, with new characters like these, that's not likely to be something you actually want to do, but with a character like Reina, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so it looks like Elros and Whompi are coming out. Troy, who is joining them for either witchy witch investigations or harassing other children? I'm not sure which yet.
I'll have Mina come out. That's what I'll do.
Meet the orphans. They're real assholes.
Oh, there's some domino effects from something that Ed's character told one of the other kids in the previous adventure too. That's he chose his words in an interesting way. So. Okay. Which adventure then are the three of you agreeing upon attempting?
My vote is for the witchy witch.
I'm like 55-45 going to vote for the me and other kids, but if Troy has a preference, good. Yeah.
I just feel like I would be okay with either, but at the same time, like if we already have with 3 people, we have a preference toward the witchy witch, so that's fine with me.
Alrighty. Is anyone going to have their characters play, or is everybody doing chores? Play earns them an extra 2 tax removed in addition to the 2 tax they get for resting at night. Looks like it's chores across the board. Alright.
I thought about having Nest play because Nest could clear all tax, but yeah. They're a composure bank.
I think I would have only had a heavy tax situation that I would have needed to play off if we would have handled that cave situation worse.
Well, so Nest has +4 to composure, so I took a lot of composure hits last time. But like worst case scenario, I would just take more composure.
Okay. Does everybody know which chores they're going after for? I see a lot of things filled out. Vivian, you've already got your stuff sorted out there. Got some fishing, spend time with the sheriff.
Sure, the sheriff is love to see Nest again.
Well, this time Nest will be following orders a bit better, perhaps.
To be fair, I don't think Nest got caught doing anything bad.
No. No, Tice was the only character that got thrown in the river.
Yeah, the sheriff probably did the most workout he had in a while.
Ooh. A couple people are going to make some progress on the carpenter. All right. Okay, so you're in the house. Everybody's packing up and getting ready to go out to do their chores.
How did we say pocket money affects the carpenter?
So pocket money is pips if you're buying stuff.
Okay.
So when you make your rolls to see if you can buy something, you can use those as pips to enhance the roll. Technically, you can do that with anything. Anything you can offer up for its quality in pips as a bartering thing. If you have the talent barter, then you get to use them as dice instead of pips. But yeah, pocket money is not like that. Potentially, you could get some actual money, which you can use. So there's the whole money thing where I'm actually exploiting some features that were in the base code of the role-playing system for inventory items, right? So when crafting an item, one of the properties you could craft into it was valuable, which would have it give dice instead of pips, as though you were using the bartering talent. And then there was precious, which would have it give successes instead of pips or dice. And so what I've done is I've just created inventory items that instead of having a quality, have a quantity. And there's one that has no value, that's your pocket money, so it's just pips. One that has the valuable trait, and one that has the precious trait, precious gems. So you've got pocket money, valuable coins, and precious gems in your inventory, mostly at values of 0, except for a little bit of pocket money you guys earn. They're not there for no reason. There is a progression here in which you will be able to earn more advanced things.
It's a trade-in system, right? You trade 5 pocket money for 1 valuable, because it would equal that.
Right. That would be the correct. That would be the correct exchange rate. However, here in town, there is only one NPC that is willing to make currency exchanges, and that NPC does not make fair trades. That would be the owner of the general store, and he will trade you 10 for 1. Unless you're going back the other direction. If you're trading your coin back for pocket money, then it's 5 to 1.
Of course.
Don't worry, you guys won't be in the sticks forever. Although probably for another, like, 5 to 10 sessions. At the current rate things are going. All right, so you all know where the herbalist lives. It's right in the middle of town. It's not like hidden in the woods or anything.
Whompi even was at the herbalist last session.
Indeed. There's quite a bit of hilarity over there with a vomiting compatriot.
All right, I'm going back there again.
Okay, you've been a good kitty. Cat on camera, so cat gets a treat.
Nice. I don't even have to spend points for that one.
There you go. Good kitty. Okay. Are you guys heading off to the witches?
Yes.
Alrighty, you pack up, head up the road. Miss Maybell gives each of you a little packed little snack bag for your day. And up the road you go. As before, field on the left, cows on the right. The field is coming along with their harvest. The barley's more than half done now, which means there won't be a lot of spots to hide in that field shortly. And then you come upon the woods. Woods are on the left. The cows are still on the right. Everybody make a perception plus investigation roll. Ah, good. 2 of you see it. It wouldn't just be Whompi alone. And then no one would believe poor Whompi. So Whompi and Mina both see eyes in the woods watching. They're too far in for you to see exactly what they belong to, but it's daytime, and the glint of the sun shows that there are definitely eyes watching you, and they blink.
When we say eyes, we're talking about a pair, right?
2 of them. 2 eyes, 1 pair. But when you open your lunch, it's an apple.
I want an orange.
All right, then. If nothing else, then you guys proceed up the road, I guess.
Who's with us? Elros?
Yep. Yeah. I'm guessing none of those kids were there, like last time we walked past, where they were like talking to us.
No, they're probably still there, but they're not out at the front gate of the farm. They'd be much further in the farm, either in the farmhouse or the barn or somewhere where you can't see in the field, harvesting the barley.
Okay. So do you think any of us will be turned into a newt?
Araxi and Glup are not there to take offense at that.
Don't worry, you'll get better.
So I think I lost the internet when you told us what is here, what we saw. So can you just say it again?
A pair of eyes are in the woods looking out at you.
Well, Whompi's going to pull you to like buy like your shirt sleeves or like they have your shirt or whatever, and point to it and go and say in a voice that's way too loud, "Somebody's watching us."
The eyes blink, there's a rustle in the bushes, and they're gone.
I'll pull out my apple and I'll toss it into the like near that area. Like, okay, let's go.
Well, I guess you won't have an apple in your lunch.
Whompi is. Where are you tossing it after the eyes, like into this bush?
Yeah, probably. Like you'll probably find it.
Uh. Whompi really wants to go and have 2 apples now. So
Well, it depends if you want.
Whompi's going to go and try and go get it.
Well, it depends. You want to go face to face with the was it what was it again? It was a what was it in the forest? It was some kind of troll, or was it?
Whompi wasn't there for that.
No, I was there for it.
Yeah, Elros was there.
I
Was
can't
Mina there?
remember.
No, it was Chris was there.
Yeah, we were. Everyone knows about what was in there because we gloated about it.
Whompi has already forgotten about whatever your gloats were.
I'm trying to remember what it was. It was some kind of troll.
Yeah, there was a wood troll.
Yeah, there was a wood troll in there that you might have seen a wood troll or a fox.
Whompi stamps their foot and goes, "Wood troll doesn't scare Whompi."
How about a fox?
What's a fox?
I think it was a wolf.
Or a wolf, I meant. Wolf. You almost took my face off last time.
Wolf don't scare Whompi.
All right, Whompi. Whompi the Brave retrieves the apple. The apple is, like, basically sitting in a giant wolf's paw print in the mud under a bush. But there's no wolf.
Whompi takes a bite of the apple and strolls back triumphantly.
Alrighty. Are you guys going to continue north along the road, or did you want to go into the woods and study the paw print?
I think it depends on how fast Whompi comes back and whether Whompi says anything.
Whompi says nothing. Whompi's just chewing on an apple, proudly.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to meta play in any way because if Whompi just runs into the forest, grabs an apple, and comes back, like I can't do shit.
There you
Which
go.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got the witch to go to.
You did see the eyes. I think it was only Elros didn't see the eyes in the woods.
And
I-
Whompi did pull on you and say, "Somebody's watching us."
Yeah, that's true. So that is fair. Was there anything there when you got the apple?
Does Whompi remember?
Roll dice.
You know what? Yes, I'm going to roll a die just to see if Whompi remembers.
The randomization engine is there for your convenience.
Whompi does not remember. Whompi says, "Yes, an apple. My apple." Takes another loud bite of it triumphantly.
Well, there were eyes there, and they're gone. I think that's all that matters.
Alrighty. The cows moo as you head on up the road. You can see out in the fields to the right there are people working, tending to the cows. And the field to the left now is, now that you're past the woods, instead of barley, it's wheat. And they're getting ready for their harvest as well. They haven't begun yet, but they're getting ready. getting carts in place and such. There's a whole interesting thing about the differences between how wheat and barley are processed for their different purposes, none of which children would care about whatsoever, and so you proceed further up the road to the town center. A great deal can be investigated here. You may recall the town center from the previous adventure. Last session you guys got kind of a little map of it. That map is still valid, as you have not yet knocked any buildings over.
Yeah. So we need to go to the herbalist, I think, because that's...
So the word is that the herbalist's mother is in town visiting, and that the herbalist's mother really looks like a witch. She looks extra witchy. She's got the pointy hat, and she's got a wart on a crooked nose. She looks so much like a witch.
Well, the herbalist is probably the best place to start for this, because
Yeah.
it's going to be either the herbalist or the inn, right?
The inn will have not the witch.
But every
Well-
gossip in town.
Right.
And also cookies.
And the herbalist probably has the witch, although might not have the witch. You know.
Tice makes an excellent point too, is that the inn has Grammy, and Grammy gives out cookies.
All right, Whompi starts walking to the inn.
Grammy sees you come in, says, "Oh, welcome, little ones. Are you here to do chores for some coin?"
No, we're here for cookies.
Right you are.
I think I'll pass on them for now.
Oh yeah. I don't want to throw up again. Grammy has you guys seated at a table as though you're guests, and makes a play of bringing you out little menus of different types of cookies, as though serving a guest. It looks like she's using you guys as a training exercise for a new waiter. One of her grandkids who's fallen on hard times and had to come back to the family business before seeking adventure.
May I ask, have you seen the herbalist's mother? She looks very witchy. We're trying to look for her.
Ooh, says Grammy. She don't just look witchy. She's a right proper witch, she is. I've seen it. I've seen her speaking to animals.
Has she ever summoned a cat?
Grammy says, "Not that I saw, but would be very useful. There's been some mice under the floorboards lately." She looks over at this old cat that's clearly not doing its job and is just chilling on a table.
Well, or either that or talk to the mice themselves and get them to do something else.
Oh, now that'd be a thing, wouldn't it? Little mice running around carrying menus.
That's preposterous. And you say that they should be cooking as well.
They could never lift the skillet. Why, they'd have to train a man to lift it for them. Something I've been trying to do all day, she smacks her grandson upside the head as he brings a tray of cookies.
Whompi picks out all the prettiest one.
Is there less sugary options?
Why, lad, if there wasn't sugar in them, they'd hardly be proper cookies, now would they? Can't be giving the wee ones those raisins. Whoa.
Whompi, by the way, having heard the story of Elros throwing up, is eating the cookies right in Elros's face.
Whompi was also there for the cleanup of Elros's vomit.
Yes.
So, do you know where though? Have you seen where she is? Is she hanging out with her daughter?
I've been seeing them together. I would presume she's bunking with her daughter. I know that there's a guest room there. Never had need of it myself, of course. But you never know with them witches. Could be sleeping in the woods, for all you know. I hear they can make a bed of pine needles feel as soft as a fluffy cloud.
Sounds like someone you'd enjoy at it in then.
Oh, if she came by, it'd be quite a treat, but I don't know if she'd object to the animals we serve. She sort of scratches her head in confusion. Not sure which kind of witch she is.
Whompi at this point has gotten bored, has picked up a couple cookies, and is just walking around trying to listen in on any gossip that people have.
The standard gossip is that there's some pirate treasure hidden somewhere in the village. That gossip's been going on for a while. There doesn't seem to be anybody with any conclusive ideas as to where it is, considering the distinct lack of pirates. What was that?
Nothing about the witch in town?
Go ahead and make a connections check.
Connections. Okay.
Yep, you're going to see if you have enough social connectivity in this town to locate a witch.
Hey!
All right. So yeah, you find somebody that says that they saw a witch heading up into the woods near the mill.
Whompi at that point is going to come back and again, hang on, quick question. What race are Elros and Mina?
Elros is an elf. Mina is human.
Alright, so
Whompi
they're
is
both
half.
tall. Whompi is going to come up and pull all both of your shirts again and say, "We need to go to the woods," and just start walking out.
Careful, lad. She had wolves with her, says the man as you leave. Grammy makes sure that there's an extra cookie in each of your pockets before you leave.
Okay.
I assume we were literally pulled out. When you say
You were pulled
shirts.
out with the same energy of an 8-year-old child who's a bit smaller than that.
Whompi is a halfling, but a halfling child, so there is severe size scaling going on. But he's not actually much younger than you.
Yeah. It's the same sort of pull that you would get from a little sibling.
I see. So I appeased it and just allowed for you to pull me.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Since I I forget the keen sense arcane. If someone actually is a magical person at casting spells, is it easier to know if someone is magical?
If you make a check in which your arcane sense matters, you would get additional pips to that check.
Okay. So, I guess we're gonna head to the woods. Got a cookie just in case a giant wolf tries to attack us? I'm not gonna eat that cookie.
Wolves don't want cookie, they want your meat.
You look throwable.
Do you want to try and get some meat to bring?
Sure.
So Grammy's Inn does serve meat dishes. There's also a general store.
Maybe from Grammy, because I think the general store will just try to charge us a buttload of money for it. Be like, we want it, like, you said the were with wolves, whatever. Can we just have a little scraps just a piece for wolves?
Oh, can't have you carrying around raw meat, Grammy says. It's not safe. It's gotta be prepared right for cooking.
Do wolves eat cooked meat?
Well, I ain't never had a wolf customer now, have I?
Pull them aside and just. I don't think wolves would be upset about discarded meat. These places have to have discarded meat, right? They have like places they dump that we know of.
I mean, the inn has sides all around it. You could look at.
Right.
But inside where the customers are, they do not have piles of discarded meat. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm under preposition that I'm already been dragged outside.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if
Yeah,
you go
you're
around the
having
back,
this-
there are trash bins.
If you're having this conversation, Whompi is still dragging or pulling on your shirt, trying to get attention because Whompi is bored.
Yeah, my understanding is Whompi and I are on our way outside, and Elros stopped and didn't go with the ploy of a tinier kid pulling.
Yeah. Then I'll head out and meet up with you guys to go maybe potentially go garbage shopping for wolves.
So around the back of Grammy's shop, Grammy's Inn, really, it's a pretty big establishment. There is a cart loading and unloading area that's just kind of called the cart yard. And in the cart yard at the moment, some of Grammy's grandchildren are having a little boxing match. It's bare knuckle. The rules are very fast and loose. Sometimes it turns into a wrestling match. And they are in the vicinity of a large dumping container that's basically acting as a compost heap. The stuff that's on top looks like leftover cuts of fat taken off of birds and meats of some kind, along with rotten vegetables from the previous day and all kinds of stuff.
You say grandkids. Does that mean? Do we have a concept of age? Older than us.
Older than you, yeah. Some of them are your age, actually. Grammy was prolific when she was of marrying age, and so she has a significant extended family.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm just going to read from the description in the residence section. The Oakbrine Inn, owned by the notoriously promiscuous Eldiatra Grammy Many-Matron, who through a lifetime of boyfriends, secret lovers, minor acquaintances on nights she was bored, at least 2 complete strangers that she can remember, and eventually a series of 4 different husbands, she's raised a significant number of children, all of whom have grown and had children of their own. While much of the family ventures abroad, seeking their fortune in their own way, when any are down on their luck, they come back to the Oakbrine Inn to earn their keep, helping Grammy run the place. She's taken the surname Many-Matron because she's proud of all of her children. There's a custom in these parts to, if one of your children is particularly successful, that you would say, I'm Bob Matron or Bob Sire as your last name, but she's had so many that she just calls herself Many-Matron. her pride might be misplaced, considering how many of them have come back from their travels poor of pocket and in need of employment. And here they are, having a little fist fight in the dirt next to a dumpster.
I look forward to the inheritance fight at the courthouse.
So, do you two want to go get scraps?
You can't if you're such a coward that you want them.
I was going to be the distraction. I'm good at that.
Okay, I don't. If we're dealing with wolves, I don't think it would hurt to have something. I wouldn't regard it as cowardice.
I had to double check. I was like, is Whompi's hero a Phaethon? No, it's Violithan, who is effectively immortal, and yeah, I see it. Whompi's definitely rocking that energy.
Except that pocket money ain't gonna do the trick.
It's fine, you two can go in the dumpster. I'll stand guard. Whompi stands next to it and just like crosses their arms in a huff and trying to look really tough for a halfling.
One of the kids says, "Hey, you look pretty tough for a halfling.
Yeah, I am.
You want to get in on this? We'll put you up against Squeaker. Hey, Squeaker! Get over here. I got a match for you."
I'll fight him.
What's your name, Half Pint?
I'm Whompi.
Whompi, all right. Put Whompi's name up on the board. Whompi versus Squeaker. Here we go.
Got this, Whompi.
Squeaker looks
Whompi's-
like they're about 5 years old.
Okay. Whompi is going to stand with like the best interpretation an 8-year-old who's been in an orphanage all their life can have of a fighting stance.
Alrighty. Squeaker's going to take a swing.
Turns out like Squeaker has like 6 dice and just like clobbers you.
If I see like 8 dice come out here.
Well, Squeaker got a success there.
Going to avoid that one.
Alright.
And Whompi's just going to come flying in, like just fist fly, just trying to land as many punches as possible. With almost no regard for defense.
Right on. Probably, unarmed plus vigor, I think would be the standard thing. Alright, you land a hit. Okay.
Meanwhile, you all could be digging through that dumpster.
Squeaker is immediately demoralized by being punched. Did not realize that fist fighting would involve being punched, and it has just fallen to the ground and crying. Squeaker is not in any way truly injured. It was just a light knock on the head, but yeah, it's 5 years old. So yeah.
Whompi runs around celebrating. Yeah, Whompi the best.
One of the 9-year-olds like, "Come on, Squeaker, stop being such a baby." But Squeaker is Squeaker's crying. Good job, Whompi. You've created a significant distraction. I'm sure that the rest of the party had no difficulty acquiring some thrown out meat from the dumpster. Technically, it's a compost pile. This is a farming community. They don't actually throw things away.
Well, you don't usually put raw meat into a compost, but... Faith
Yeah,
used to make, like, pig slop or whatever.
I guess I'll get to midnight to find something.
Well, you guys have gotten to it before the farmers have, so the raw meat is yours.
Whompi is basically just right out into, like, the field behind... I imagine it's like a little field behind the thing celebrating.
It's like Eye of the Tiger playing in Whompi's head.
Ye olde Eye of the Tiger, yes.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't that much of really a fight, though.
Whompi does not hear you.
I think it was definitely a fight. Two people. Went
Two
against each
children
other,
enter.
one went down.
One child leaves. The other child sits on the ground for a while, moping.
So to the woods? Find our witch?
Yeah. One day I'll come here. Maybe someone actually provide a challenge.
Whompi pulls out the other apple that from their day pack and eats it just to remind you that you don't have an apple anymore.
At least you still have a bit of bread and cheese.
Yeah. At least technically, I'll get to eat the apples of your like great grandchildren.
Oh,
If I
playing the
really want to be
long-lived
that
card.
spiteful.
Whompi is just confused now. Basically, you finally shut Whompi up as Whompi slowly like tries to process what you just said through their head. And so for the next like 5 or 10 minutes, you have quiet.
And so it is in the quiet of your journey up the road towards the mill that you are able to hear the occasional snap of twig and rustle of underbrush, as there are creatures in the woods. The road follows the stream up, and the stream you're going uphill now, so the stream has lots of little waterfalls and things. Far enough up here, and you will encounter the mill itself. You guys going to go all the way up to the mill, or are you going to break off and explore the woods? These are not like that little patch of woods down in the farms. This is woods proper. These are, they're not like huge trees, but they go on for a much more significant distance. So up here, farming is not much of a thing. We're in this sort of, these are foothills that lack an actual mountain to be the basis of. So mostly it acts as sort of a trough of rain collection, which turns into the stream that makes the mill go, and then eventually flows down to your house and the ocean.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is where we were told that we found out where the witch might be, is in these woods.
Yes. You were not specifically told where in the woods, just that a drunk at the bar claims to have seen a witch wandering the woods with some wolves. The question is, would she have bothered to go all the way to the mill?
Oh, depends on if it freshly rained or not. We might be able to see if there's any foot tracks or anything.
Great suggestion. An investigation plus perception or an exploration plus focus check. Could either one reveal tracks?
Perception, then.
Well, you got a success. There are tracks in the mud, that's for sure. Was anyone else going to contribute for the project?
Sure.
Yeah, we're doing an investigation, right, on the tracks.
Yeah.
Whompi's more looking at the tracks that Tice found, and if they jog Whompi's memory that they saw those tracks earlier.
Apparently Whompi's memory is not significantly jolted. Great. Googly moogly, you actually have a relevant skill. Go Mina. Alright, well, with a collection of 2, you guys have not identified any human footprints yet, but there are certainly some wolf footprints, and other animals, deer, rabbits, squirrels. But what is interesting that you've learned from that second success in there is that there are 2 separate wolf tracks from 2 different wolves.
Do you think she's
Let's follow
riding
the
wolf?
wall.
What was your question, Tess?
I said, do you think she's riding the wolf? Because that sounds pretty cool.
Did we see that there's multiple tracks, or did we see that the tracks were together, like they were traveling together?
They appear to be traveling together.
Whompi could ride Wolf if Wolf let Whompi.
Well, we gotta catch up to him then.
Is there a plan to follow these tracks into the woods?
Yes.
Yeah.
My great athleticism.
Alrighty. Somebody's going to be making an exploration check to follow the trail.
Is that all of us or just one of them?
Well, you need 2 successes, so if nobody has more than 1 dice, then you're going to have to work together.
Yeah, I have a cunning of 2.
I don't think cunning necessarily applies to this.
Yeah.
Can I have Whompi start playing a game of walking in the wolf tracks?
Yes.
I don't know what that would do for me, but that's what Whompi's going to be trying to do.
It will damage the tracks so that others trying to follow them will have trouble distinguishing them from halfling tracks.
I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Lost in the woods, y'all.
And you will not be able to try again because all the tracks have been erased.
So we got 1 success.
You do have 1 success, so you've made some progress and are now in the midst of the woods. I don't know how good any of you are at orienteering, so getting back will be an interesting adventure. If you want to go back, or you can pick a direction at random.
How tall are the trees?
From a child's perspective, they're massive. An adult would not find them so. An adult would actually be kind of concerned that this forest does not seem to be super healthy. There's not a lot of old growth here. A lot of it's new growth.
Does anyone want to attempt to speak wolf? We could maybe to distract.
Whompi's going to get down on all fours and howl.
You know what? Give me a performance check on that. Performance plus empathy.
Come on, Whompi.
Okay.
How wolf-like will this halfling sound? You have heard the howling of gnolls, which are not exactly like wolves, but they have some wolf-like features in their vocal cords.
You got.
Hey.
You hear the howl of a wolf answer your call.
Do I hear the direction as well?
Yes, you do. Do you want to proceed in that direction? You're not sure what that direction is relative to any other direction, so you can basically go towards it or away from it.
I'm gonna pull out my trusty rusty axe. I'm gonna leave a little bit of chips in some of the wood, just so I know exactly if we find little chips again, we know that we're in a different direction.
Trailblazing, right on.
Elros, you still have your bread, right? You could leave a trail of breadcrumbs.
Because that worked really well in that story, right?
I seem to remember getting back and having absolutely no problems with witches.
No problems with witches at all.
So yeah, I guess we start heading towards the sound as it notches.
Yeah.
Okay. About an hour of tromping through the woods in that direction, you come upon a little clearing. There isn't a lot of grass in this clearing. It seems to be, it's like some rocks have basically formed an area where just trees are not able to grow properly. There's bits of moss on the ground, but it's an area where there isn't significant tree cover. There's sort of an oppression to the area. It seems like, not a good mood. Even though it's broad daylight, there's almost a darkness to it. All of you feel a strong urge to turn around and go home, and if you wish to stay, you will need to pay the fear tax of a composure damage.
Yes, I will.
Elros, you don't have really any training or experience in magic, but that part of your brain that's wired for it is tingling. You don't know what it means or even what direction it's coming from because you have no knowledge or experience in that, but something's hit your tangle and it's vibrating.
Alright. Whompi is going to take the tax, and just stand there repeating quietly, Whompi no scared of wolves, Whompi no scared of wolves, Whompi no scared of wolves.
Well, there's something, I think, magical. I don't know. I'm getting a tingling sensation. I guess I'll head to the center of the weird circle thing. Because even though it's darkness, shadows are my family.
Okay. That's a reasonable reason for you to play it brave.
Whompi is following you, but like at a distance, just still repeating Whompi no scared of wolves. While being pretty scared.
And Mina?
I'm not gonna walk as far in, but just like staying near the edge and kind of walking along the edge and examining like everything around them.
All right, then. As the person close to the edge, you're the person who first hears the growl. Turning, you can see, still in the woods. It hasn't come into the clearing, but there is a shape, a gray shadow, with some little stripes running down its back, like little white wisps of fur. But otherwise, the typical canine shape of a wolf. A big one. Not huge, but bigger than a dog. The growl fills you with terror and seems to be a message. The message is, run, rabbit. Give me a chase. This is a psychological attack being issued by the wolf against you. It is attempting to frighten you into running. That's directed at Mina. While the rest of you haven't heard this or suffered the direct attack, you can kind of see what's going on, so if Mina calls for help or points it out, you'll be able to notice it. Because this is a directed attack, Mina, you don't necessarily have to tax your composure with this if you wanted to use resist, avoid, notice. The choice is yours. You could also attempt to roll against it if you have some relevant skill or talent, or tax an item if you have an item on your person that makes you particularly brave. Totems of courage are helpful tools for these sorts of situations.
No totems. I think purely based on the fact that I was already looking around and suspecting that I can partially at least notice, but I'm still gonna have to take some composure. So I'm somewhat shook.
Okay.
The spreadsheet and randomly getting the heads ups. It's like my push to talk anchors something.
Because you are able to pay the tax, you are not forced into any particular action. So you may respond to the situation as you wish.
So it was. I know it came from the woods, but it was like I can see it. How close can I see it?
Yeah, so it's like, so if you think of the woods as being layers of trees, it's only one layer of tree back in the woods. And it's walking sort of perpendicular to your line, as though circling you. But obviously, like, it has a lot of clearing it would have to go around if it's going to completely circle you.
Right. So I'm watching it do that, and I'm backing away from it, keeping it at my front slowly, and then I'll say at an audible range for the rest that I found at least one wolf. And I'll just kind of point forward.
All right, so you guys have heard that. How would you like to respond?
I'm going to look at the other side of the. Move a little bit closer to the other side of the woods and looking through them to see if one wolf is there. The other one might be going around.
Very clever, and there is. So that wolf does not get to make a surprise attack, since you anticipated that. Well done, Elros. Sometimes without even a die roll, the right decisions can change a situation.
Well, Whompi is going to try to sneak away from the wolves.
Okay, stealth plus agility.
And I have a gift +2 for that, so that's Peps, right?
Yes, very nice. Oh yeah, lessons of the small, absolutely.
I'm curious. Did we know what the witch's name was?
Nope, you never found out.
Is there a chance that Whompi would know from having been at the herbalist that one time?
The herbalist has only ever referred to her mother as mother. Yeah, I mean, if you could exit this situation, you could go back and ask her.
Oh, I needed every one of those Peps. Oh no, I did. I actually rolled 5. Never mind.
Okay, you have, to the eyes of your companions, you have vanished. You don't know if you're hidden from the wolves yet, but you definitely feel hidden.
I'll like pull off my stick thing, and I'll like dump out the meat and like some of the actually just all my food on the ground in front of me, and take a slow step backwards.
The wolves sniff at it, smelling the meat as you take it out of the pack, and they stop their slow circle walk and kind of poke their head into the area. One of them lets up a short, almost yipping howl, and 2 more wolves come in from the sides. Total of 4 wolves now. 1 gray with some white stripes, 1 a solid black, 1 solid white, and 1 a mottled brown. All of them except the gray one with white stripes that's facing Mina are proceeding towards the middle where you've dumped out the meat. Arriving within some distance of you, they stop and they sort of issue a barking growl as if to frighten you away from the meat that they want. You can either take two attacks, or you can back away as they want you to. If you obey their wolfly command and get away from the meat, then you don't have to take the attacks. Give in to your fear.
I'll take one to resist and one to composure.
Okay. You hold your ground then. And the wolves start stepping towards you and towards that tasty meat.
I'm not like right in front of the meat. I'm like just a little away from it, but like, uh, you know, Willica or maybe mom Willica's mom, witchy.
The gray wolf with white stripes in front of Mina sort of cocks her head to look around Mina, and then straightens the wolf's back, stands up on hind legs, and the fur becomes a cloak, and the wolf becomes a woman with gray hair with white stripes. She says, "You know my daughter." You called her by name, so yeah.
Yeah. Some of us do jobs for her. We're from Orphanage.
Whompi jumps out of their hiding spot.
Says, "North, south, west." The three other wolves look up at her. Says, "Get away from that. It's disgusting. That's garbage meat." The other three wolves come over to her and sort of sit down around her. And she takes out a pack with some fresh rabbit that she had hunted from out of like a satchel that's around her, mysteriously around her shoulders right now. Not sure where it was when she was a wolf, but magic is magic.
Yeah.
And she gives each of them a fresh rabbit to chew on. And yeah, and then walks over to you kids.
Yeah, I didn't know witches could turn into wolves.
Druids, lad. Druids turn into wolves. Who told you I was a witch?
I think most of the town calls you that.
Ah, what do they know?
At least I know now what set off my my brain. I think my people call it the tangle.
Got a bit of the sense in you. So I've known many elves that have joined our order.
Can I pet the wolf?
She whistles for North to come over, and the pure white wolf runs over and sits down and looks up at her expectantly. She growls something in wolf that you don't understand, and the wolf sits patiently, still as a stone, while you pet it. The wolf is gigantic compared to Whompi.
Whompi's like staring up at the wolf in awe as Whompi pets it. Like,
if Whompi was an adult human, this wolf would be the size of a horse. Like, you were not at all wrong about being able to ride it. Now, whether or not it would eat you if you tried is a different matter.
So what is your name? I haven't been able to find out what your name was before.
Just a moment while I make up a name for this character. Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, her name is Eastwind. I had that in my notes already. I just forgot. Says, "I'm Eastwind," and she introduces each of the other wolves. This is Westwind, Northwind, and Southwind.
I see. I'm curious, what is wrong with this area? It seems a bit dark compared to, though it's supposed to be full of light.
Says, "Yes, there used to be a tree at the center of this grove. Something unnatural has happened here. Something unnatural has been happening across this entire area. And we've come here to figure it out."
who's we?
My companions and I, she gestures to the wolves.
We can help.
I am certain that you could. This I will tell you, be ever on the look for things that are not as they should be. When nature is disturbed, the consequences echo.
Oh, you mean like like people being pulled into the ground?
She raises an eyebrow. Did you see people pulled into the earth?
No, but my friends told me about people that came into the town. They vanished in front of the orphanage.
An important question to ask. Did the earth open and swallow them? Or did something beneath the earth rise up and pull them down? Very different kinds of magic, these two. But you are but children. You would not know of such things.
Whompi, like, it kicks her feet around a little bit. It's like, we can ask them.
Ask who, little one?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how Whompi would describe this. Ask the kids who talked to the man in the cage.
A man in a cage, you say?
Yeah, for some reason he's raised above the ground. Like I don't know why they wouldn't just put him in a normal cell.
They wish to keep him from the ground. Either he has power over the ground, or they're keeping him safe from something that does. Such a wonderful little observation. I am glad you have such keen eyes.
Would we be able to learn a little bit from you, or do you, since you're out here anyway, or also able to tell us exactly where we are, because we may have lost our way.
I told you to drop the breadcrumbs.
She smiles and says, all you have to do is go downhill. The village is right there. Uphill is away from the village, downhill is towards the village. If you find the road, go to the left. You see, there's a stream, and you have not yet crossed the stream, so the village must be to the left when you get to the road.
Okay. Besides turning into a wolf, what other cool things can you do?
She sees the confusion / apathy / interest in other things in your eyes, says, I will lead you back to the village.
Can you teach me to be a wolf?
A druid doesn't learn to be a wolf from others. A druid teaches themselves to be a wolf. Or other things. Not all of us are wolves.
Does that mean I could be a dragon?
She thinks is never seen a dragon. Probably
cool
too big anyway.
Be cool if I could be a dragon.
Yeah. You'll be a dragon when a frickin' moon hits the ground.
She gives a good chuckle. As at the moment, a phrase like that basically is like when pigs fly.
And then weeks later, Boomy's gonna this character's gonna hear about the moon falling into the ground. He's like, this is it. I'm gonna be a dragon.
I did know a witch once in the north who could turn to a lizard.
Big lizard, small lizard.
Pretty big lizard. She could swim really fast as that lizard.
Can I turn into a big lizard?
If you learn the ways of nature.
Well, now Whompi's going to be a herbalist every day.
Study the lizards. Learn to speak their language.
I was curious, how common is it to know that druids follow different moons, or would that be like?
There are a huge variety of druids, because druids, they worship nature in its various forms. The moon worshipping druids, and also there's general sky worshipping druids, are sects of druidism, but there's also druids that are just like druid of the forest, druid of the mountains, druid of a specific animal or type of ecosystem, druid of nature in general. So yeah, it's not like scholastic magic, where there's strict disciplines that have been organized by schools because it's the most efficient way to teach. Instead, it's a whole bunch of people all over the place that all have their own philosophies. And the natural energies of the spirit world and the astral plane interact with their beliefs and philosophies to create supernatural effects, such as shapeshifting.
Okay.
Generally, because of this, druids don't get to choose what they shapeshift into.
It was all in them at the beginning, but the wolf was inside them the whole time.
Exactly. And that's how they think of it. Mechanically, that's not actually what's going on. It's that there's some aspect of them that's lining up with the frequencies and quantum nonsense going on in the astral planes with other philosophical things. But yeah, basically, that's the easy to understand summary is the wolf was in them all along. Or perhaps in Whompi's case, the lizard. Who knows? It really depends on whether or not. It really depends on whether or not Whompi has the attention span.
I mean, Whompi's answer to the question of what do you want to be when you grow up is now going to be a dragon, so.
There you go.
Oh yeah, since you know forest stuff, I don't know exactly. I think we saved it from a wolf, but there's I think it was a forest troll in the forest of in between the fields. It seemed that not very dangerous. It seemed interesting.
She stopped, said, "What kind of tree was it?"
What did it look like?
So anyone who was there, which includes Elros, could try to make a scholarship plus. I mean, you're digging in your memory here, so scholarship plus focus, I guess. See if you can deduce it. She says, every troll is born from something of nature. There was a tree here once. That tree was ruined, unnatural. If that troll is of the same tree, then that may be the unnatural thing that I'm hunting.
Whompi wasn't there, but Whompi's going to say, Ness said it was a friendly.
Your friend was, I'm certain, confused. There are no friendly trolls.
If I'm trollish, would I only really know about mountain trolls?
Yeah. Yeah, the mountain trolls up in the troll mountains are, they're born from stone. Their behavior's a little different. They've actually somewhat been organized. They almost have a language.
Yeah, one success.
They're very different from the kind of forest and valley trolls that are generally born from trees, are not really organized. They're just a thing that happens elsewhere. Okay, yeah, so you are able to give like a basic description of the texture of the bark that was its skin. And it's you don't know what kind of tree it is, but from your description, the witch is able to draw her own conclusions, which may or may not be accurate.
Whompi is going to say, no, they said it was friendly. They said they fed it mushrooms.
Fed it mushrooms? That is not a behavior natural to trolls. Trolls are meat eaters.
Yeah, it did have weird eggs with limbs in them, I think it was.
Eggs? Again,
Yeah,
this makes no sense. Trolls don't lay eggs. Some trolls in the northern mountains have been known to reproduce by intentionally cutting themselves in half, and then each half regrows as a new troll. But forest trolls are grown from trees in places where the earth has been damaged by magics or unnatural things.
Yeah, because those were like eggs they look sort of like eggs or something with like 5 parts in them, right? That's what there was in the when we last.
Are you asking me, the GM, or are you asking
Yes,
the character?
asking
Yes,
you, yeah.
they were amber, egg-shaped, and there were two. There was a left hand, a right hand, a left foot, and a right foot.
Yeah, they were amber shaped. They were amber covered eggs, like ambered eggs, that like with a left hand, a right hand, a left foot, and right foot in them.
All right, children, we need to get back to the village quickly, and I need to talk to the sheriff.
Can I climb one of the walls?
What's that?
Can I climb one of the walls if we want to go fast?
She looks at the wolves, and one of the wolves seems to like do a very human sigh. It's like, and it shapeshifts into a adult human man, also clad in a robe that's roughly the color of the wolf that he was. It's like, all right, you can climb on my back. So I don't like not being a wolf, though.
Okay. Are you Wilca's dad?
No, I have no kin in these parts.
Ah, okay. Is Wilca magical?
Sadly, my daughter never had the gift. But she is studious, and in her studies she has learned to find a magic of her own.
Okay. I guess I'll climb the shoulders.
Alright, so yeah, you get to ride on shoulders. Whompi, if you want to ride on a wolf, you're light enough that you won't actually injure their spine by trying to ride on one.
Whompi absolutely wants to ride on a wolf.
Alright, so you get to ride on Northwind. Mina, did you want to request an adult carry you on their back?
I'm fine walking.
Okay.
Or jogging, whatever pace we need to go.
It's downhill too, so it's easy going. Alright, they get you back to the village, and the now that you're back in the village, they put you down. All of them turn into roughly human forms. They're, basically looking like druids, trying not to scare people. And they go in. They're making a beeline for the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I'll follow them.
Yeah, Whompi's following. Whompi thinks this is the coolest shit ever.
All right, so the sheriff is out front in his rocking chair, enjoying the afternoon, and fielding letters being run back and forth by children to his deputies. And the witches approach and say, we need to organize a hunt. He looks up at this assembly of druids and is and what do you need to be hunting? Which says, there's a troll in your the area of your village. It says these children spotted it. Did you tell her where you saw him?
Yeah, I said between the two.
Okay. And it is quite far afield. It is down in the farmland. We need to hunt it and kill it quickly.
Question: is Nest, because Nest is at the sheriff, is Nest present for this?
Sure. If it would further the story, then Nest can be present. That would be excellent.
I think it would, because if Nest overhears this, Nest is going to go, no, they were friendly. I gave him mushrooms. It has like little babies there.
The sheriff is actually looks frightened. This guy's been cool as a cucumber in your previous interviews. He actually looks kind of worried. He's like, trolls with babies? We got to put a stop to this. I'll get a posse together.
It was friendly. It didn't hurt us.
You kids got to stay safe here. This is adult business. We're going to take care of this.
Ness is going to like go mope inside, like, it was friendly.
It looks like it's going to take them about a day to organize their posse properly, as the sheriff has to get all his deputies back in, get them geared up, trained about what to do. The druids are unhappy about that. They want to go right away, but the sheriff assures them that a troll's not going to be able to get very far. As long as the kids are safe and somebody's escorting them, then a proper hunting team can go out there and surround it and kill it tomorrow. The sheriff does want to assign a deputy to escort you guys back to the orphanage. Are you guys going to cooperate? Go back to the orphanage and try to organize some way to rescue your troll friend tomorrow? Or are you going to be disobedient, run off, and try and help the troll friends today? There are some advantages to getting an organized group of kids together tomorrow. There'll be more of you, for one thing.
Whompi doesn't particularly care about this troll.
Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. Yeah, on the other hand, right now you have time on your side, as the adults are going to take a full day to get their hunting stuff together.
What does the other party member think about this?
We know Nest just made a bit about it. Maybe others care about it as well. That's the wrong way to say it. Maybe other people care.
Yeah, for what it's worth, if we went back to the orphanage, Nest would absolutely organize a group of kids to go tell this or get this troll safe.
And if that's the case, then that will be the adventure for the next session.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Alrighty. So the deputies take you guys back to the orphanage, where you guys have a dinner, probably finish up the cookies that were in your pockets. And you get a chance to tell the other kids about the epic adventure you went on, and why tomorrow is Operation Save the Troll, or not, depending on what you're going to do. But I think Nesta will probably have a say on that.
Yeah.
So
like
let
Ness
us...
is gonna Ness is gonna have a little word with Elros for like telling druids.
So let us begin with the boasts.
Also, Crystal Star was with the sheriff, so I assume Nest and Crystal Star will talk before they even get back. And he was there.
True.
Just as precurse for next time of the side characters.
So there we were. We were in the middle of the forest. We encountered this mysterious area where we walked out when we were suddenly ambushed by several giant wolves. I was not easily scared. I just provided the meat onto the ground from we had prepared it for just for this occasion. I stepped back when I realized that if these wolves know anything about Wilca, that they might respond to it. So I decided to call out their name. Where one of the wolves just turned into her mom. Crazy, I know. Turns out that they're actually witches. They're actually druids. And yeah, all four wolves turned out to be druids. And we talked to them for a little bit. Turns out that druids do not like trolls. So I was trying to get help with the trolls from the druid, but it turns out that they're now going to go hunt it down tomorrow, which we're probably going to need to go rescue them. But yeah, then I got to ride on a wolf all the way home. The end. And I give a bow.
Alrighty, you get an experience point for that. Next up.
Whompi will go. Whompi goes, yeah, we stopped at the end, and one of the Gary's like grandkids challenged me to fight, and I won. I beat him up real good. He was all ground, he's crying and everything. Ah! And then we went to go look for the witch, and yeah, we tracked their little wolf paw prints. As you heard, they are actually druids, but there's a bunch of wolves there, and it was really scary. But Whompi's not scared of wolves, so Whompi befriended them and got to pet them, and might have accidentally told them about the wood troll. But it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna save it tomorrow.
I think it'd be interesting too if Whompi had it as a trait. Whompi is now Whompi Wolf Rider.
I will do that.
Also, weren't you going to turn into you learned you're going to turn into a dragon?
Well, you told me that I would learn to do it with the moonfall, so I have to figure out how to make the moonfall first.
Oh dear, we're gonna have some survivor complex going on there. We'll deal with that later. For tonight, it's fine. Right, you get your experience point, and there should be one last one.
It feels like almost the same story. So I can't even tell it different, really.
How would Mina tell it?
I'm just overthinking it at this point. So there we were on our way out of town. We had gathered up some meat from the inn. Trash. It was meat. It was for wolves. It didn't matter. We found tracks, but in closer inspection, it wasn't just tracks of a wolf. It was tracks of at least two wolves. We came upon a clearing following the tracks, and it didn't make sense to go into the clearing. So I stayed back, and that's when I heard it a growl, because this is where they would have closed in on us, and so I knew that was coming. And I saw a large wolf and kept it in sight, and it didn't scare me. And then we were encircled by wolves. But before anything, it all didn't matter because the wolves were just people, as they would be.
Very casual about wolves being people. That's excellent, very progressive. Wolves are people too. It's important to remember. Especially in a fantasy setting, where it's very often actually the case. Alrighty. So everyone's got 1 experience point so far, but everybody also gets a chance to give an experience point to the teammate that they felt was most on the ball, most helpful to them. Let's start with Vivian. Which teammate was most helpful to Whompi? You've only got 2 to choose from, so it should be pretty easy.
Probably Elros, because even though Elros probably insulted Whompi a couple times, Elros also gave the path to becoming a dragon in Whompi's mind. So, God, this is going to be terrible.
Don't forget, too, that Mina was the one who had the exploration skills to actually get
Well, yeah, but
get you
Whompi's
lost in the
taking
woods to
credit
begin
for
with.
that.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. That's 1 point for Elros. Oh, you've already got it. All right. All right. Troy. Which of Mina's compatriots did Mina find most helpful?
I'm gonna say Whompi for that. Not only the distraction when we needed one, but also just like paying attention and noticing things, and me not being the only one.
Alrighty, and Elros, which of your companions was most helpful to you?
I would say Mina for being able to help us track.
Alrighty. And now, for the characters that were not present, I'm certain Nest has an opinion as to what's happening next. Which of the stories that Nest heard was most inspiring to Nest for getting ready for Operation Rescue?
Rescue Troll Friend?
Yeah, Operation Rescue Troll Friend.
Who? Probably Mina because Mina was not the one who told about the troll friend, and also is likely competent as a potential member of Save Troll Friend. And right now, that's what Nest is evaluating: is who goes on Save Troll Friend and who's a distraction.
Now, on the flip side, Araxi never met Trollfriend, but certainly heard all these stories, and Araxi does get to give out an experience point. Which of the two characters that was not Whompi would Araxi like to give out her experience point?
Araxi would like to give it out to Elros because Elros handled themselves the way Araxi would handle themselves in that situation. So Araxi just nods along like, yep, that sounds about right.
Right on. Now let's move to Kofric. I have no idea what Kofric thinks of this situation.
Neither do I.
Kofric was present for the interrogation of the man in the prison cell, and there was kind of a discussion of that happened during this adventure.
I think when it comes down to it, Kafrik would probably be saying Elros because of the way just he handled himself with the wolves.
Alrighty, and then Chrysosar.
Neither of them?
Chrysosar, what that you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to give that as your answer. Chrysosar was there when they met the troll friend.
Yeah, at that point, Whompi essentially sold out the troll friend.
Whompi, I don't know if Whompi sold out troll.
Oh, it was in your boast.
It wasn't on purpose, and Whompi did apologize for it.
Also, I also said my boast about it.
We both sold out the troll friend.
I guess, yeah, you both. Yeah, that's why it's kind of in the. It's one of those situations where I'm weighing your good qualities against your bad qualities. Did your good qualities outweigh the bad decision you made?
I don't know. Do you want to piss off a potential dragon?
I think it would still end up being Whompi because Whompi helped, and is trying to help, and didn't try to cause a problem. Like it didn't say like I sold out the wolf, said I may have accidentally, and is trying to help.
And Whompi did come clean about it, and Whompi did advocate for the troll, telling everybody that the troll was a friend. So that makes sense. Okay, Kyleel, whose carpentry interests we'll have to get to in a moment. But before that, Kyleel, which of the adventurous Mina or Whompi will you be giving an experience point to? and why?
Let's see here. He wants to give it to Mina for being the collective cool one. Yeah, like uh, knowing exactly where to go and stuff to keep them on track.
All right, and Glup.
Glup will give one to Whompi for being chaotic as hell, and Glup loves that kind of stuff.
Alrighty. So in the end, the tally comes up to everyone having gained 4 experience points. Next, let's deal with the carpenter situation. So you have Glup and Khalil both went to the carpenter. Go ahead and make your rolls. We'll see how much progress they make. The default roll is Persuasion plus Empathy. But if you have some other idea of what you want to do other than just trying to be nice to the guy, go for it.
So you go up first. Persuasion, empathy. 1 success.
Is that both of them there?
Oh no, I'm just quickly looking up the other one. He also has 2 dice. Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
That's 3 more successes. That's like, I think that's a same amount we've gotten in like 3 sessions or something.
Yes. You have, in 1 session with good rolls, doubled the progress of all previous sessions combined. So only 14 successes to go before the carpenter will be willing to make and sell toys. All right, and now for everyone else. Vivian, Nest did spend the day at the sheriff. Did Nest learn anything from the sheriff, or is Nest's entirety of their experience with the sheriff preparation for tomorrow's troll rescue operation?
Well, it is preparation for tomorrow's troll rescue operation, but one second. Let me check something real quick. So Nest actually had enough experience to get 3 ranks in leadership on that. And that is what Nest is preparing for troll rescue operation.
Okay. Capped out leadership. Excellent. Now you're going to be able to put some serious dice on the table. So presumably then Nest studied the way the sheriff had command structures with deputies and such. And
like organized their posse. Nest might have stayed a little bit late with the sheriff pretending to help.
Nice. This is going to make the next session very exciting. And then Araxi went fishing. I presume fishing stuff happened?
Yeah, fishing stuff happened. I was saving this experience point for something else, but I actually feel like at this point, Araxi has tried to talk themselves into being able to helm the ship, at least like in the same sense you might like let a kid back your car out of the driveway.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a point into piloting.
Once out of the harbor and at open seas, they're actually quite willing to let youngsters operate the helm for short periods of time just to learn how it goes. So that's excellent.
I'm assuming both of them get pocket money as well, right?
Both of them get what?
Pocket money, right?
Yes, both of them get pocket money. And then once we're done here, everybody gets a good night's rest. But first, let's go to Kofric. Kofric was working at the inn today. Did Kofric learn anything at the inn? You seem to be muted. I don't actually see the mute indicator. I just didn't hear you when you spoke. We'll come back to you.
It's working now.
Oh, good, because there wasn't anyone else to go. So.
Yeah, sorry, it does that sometimes.
My brain is still wired for a party of 6. So. No worries. All right, so Kofric. Kofric had 3 experience points and spent a day at the inn. Did Kofric learn anything? The inn is the best place to learn most social things, but also has some other interesting bits. Like if you want to learn how to bake Grammy's delicious cookies, there's artistry as a skill you can learn.
Yeah, I'm blanking on. I knew I wanted him at the end the last time, and I can't remember why. And now I'm not sure what I'm even doing with him anymore.
Was there a talent that you needed to get prerequisites for before you could save up the points to learn it? Or was it just to learn one of the 6 skills that they train there? Artistry, performance, persuasion, propriety, survival, and unarmed. It might be interesting that survival is taught at an inn, but the inn teaches you how to cook, which is a valuable survival skill. So that is on there. And in fact, the talent that is related to that survival skill from the inn is binge, where you can learn to binge on food when it's available so that you can go for extended periods without food if necessary. It would be deeply neglectful of your caretakers to do such a thing to a child, but yeah, the talent is there for the learning.
Yeah, let's say I learned a point of survival. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but
Learning how to cook.
But that's something.
Oh yeah, unarmed is also something that you guys get to experience firsthand in the backyard there. That's also taught there. But yeah, cooking lessons generally will surround survival and artistry. Survival for cooking hearty meals and artistry for baking cookies.
When we say unarmed, does it in this system does it always mean like unequipped?
No.
Like Madala was unarmed,
Yes.
right? But
Right.
had gauntlets.
had gauntlets that, yeah. Unarmed is generally what's used to indicate such close range that you're touching. So even knife fighting could be considered unarmed if you're just that close to each other. Sword fighting is not unarmed, it's melee. There's a little bit of distance. It may only be a couple feet, but it's there and it's important. It's part of not getting cut in half by a sword. We used to call unarmed close fighting, but that didn't really explain it, and that would create confusion. And while unarmed is not necessarily a perfect name for it, it creates the least amount of confusion.
Yeah, close combat, or yeah, melee already.
Yeah, they're too similar.
It's very hard to discern between. I mean, also marksmanship and throwing, but like I get that they're different, but like throwing something at a target could be considered marksmanship.
They both involve some amount of aiming with your eyes, but they involve a very different set of motions with your hands. They both require you to be accurate, but one of them is you setting a device into a position and then releasing something that causes that device to fire the projectile. The other is your arm giving motion to an object and then letting go of the object and allowing its trajectory to continue along the path you've already put it in. Substantially different tasks, which is why there's different skills. But yeah, describing them is a challenge.
Yeah, so I'm gonna also put stuff toward unarmed because I think I have an idea what I'm doing with this person.
Okay.
So I spent the day cooking and punching pots. Or whatever.
And if you planned on having this character start doing carpenter roles, a point of persuasion would not be a bad thing to have either. But that's up to you. As I told Jackie in the last session, it's probably a good idea to actually look at what talents you want and try making sure you're going to meet their prerequisites.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking of picking up Grace next session.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Miss Maybell teaches that one.
At some point soon, Kylie will come out into play. I feel like I'm going to be taking Guppy for the forest, where there's a lot of trees and stuff to climb and stuff.
That'd be interesting. Glup is a good pick for that kind of mission. And now that Elros has enough points to get the talent that you wanted, they'll probably be doing some training there, so yeah. Alrighty, so that covers, let's see, Kofric. Crystalzar, I don't think had any points to spend. Maybe they did. They were at the sheriff's. Did they learn anything or anything to report?
No, just that's where they like to go.
Right on. And so there we have it. And that's where we'll end for this evening. But when we come back for the next session, it will be time for Operation Rescue Troll Friend. A highly implausible scenario, and yet here we are. And like, if you think about like those classic Goonies style movies, this definitely falls into that that pattern. Something that all the grown-ups think is bad, but the kids know is secretly good, and so they have to go save it from the grown-ups. That's quality storytelling right there. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We'll pick up next week.